Well, hello, hello. Welcome to On the Porch. Welcome to On the Porch with Dr. Jackie, where wisdom flows and hearts are strengthened, and we embrace the journey together. We embrace the journey together. I'm so glad that you have joined in and with Dr. Jackie on the porch. And I want you to know now, this is more than just a conversation, but I actually consider this a movement. And you say, well, why would it be a movement? Well, see, we live in a culture that is really craving the power of community. And where does think about it? Where does community actually begin? When we come together. And there was a time when we did more of this than we do now, but there was a time in which the front porch was that sacred space, that space and that place where stories were shared and laughs were heard and wisdom was passed down and real connection. That's where real connection has happened. And so we believe here on the porch, we believe that life is better. Life is better on the porch. So I'm glad that you're coming on in, and this is engaging and interactive. So I know that we'll be hearing from you shortly. But I want you to know that today is brought to you by Jack Lavelle Coaching and Consulting Group, and 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 we are dedicated to helping people overcome obstacles, helping people to step in their true destinies. Okay, in your destiny with clarity and strength and hope, also motivating men and women to push through those adversities, pushing through the adversities, not getting over, but pushing through adversities, eradicating those misspoken impossibilities. You can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. And facing the staggering impact of destiny incompleteness. And if you want to know more about Jack Lavelle Coaching and Consulting Group, I encourage you to go to my website, go to jacklavelle.com. And I'm going to pop that up in a second so that you can actually see that. Okay. So, but we are honored to also have sponsoring, and that this episode is being brought to you by something that's near and dear to my heart, and also connecting with our special guest who I'll bring on in a moment. And that's the National Association of University Women Richmond branch. And this is an organization that is dedicated to fostering sisterhood, promoting education, promoting literacy. You're going to hear more about that in a minute. But promoting literacy, supporting mental health initiatives, addressing food insecurities, uplifting historically Black colleges and universities, promoting political awareness, civic engagement. Yeah, all of that. And then also developing leaders among women. And these are some pillars that have lifted up and that have been the foundation of the National Association of University Women. If you want to know more about the organization, I encourage you to visit our website, and that's nauwrichmond.org. Or put something in the chat if you want to know more about the National Association of University Women. So we're being brought to you by Jack Lavelle Coaching and Consulting Group and the National Association of University Women, and that's the Richmond, Virginia branch. Their branches internationally. So if you want to know more, you got to reach out to me because I'll be happy to share that with you. All right. So as you step onto this welcome mat, get ready to be enlightened, engaged, and empowered. And so before we dive in, I just want to remind you, uh, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay is what I need you to put in the comment section. Hashtag replay. If you're watching us live, what I am asking you to do, put a 1 in the comment section if this is your first time. Okay? If this is your first time viewing On the Porch with Dr. Jackie. Now, I'm going to move right along because I want us to hear from our special guest. So this episode is entitled dollars and destiny, reclaiming your financial freedom. So tonight we're talking about something we all need but often neglect, and that's reclaiming our financial freedom. And I've got a special guest. I have an expert. That's right. Joining us who knows a thing or two about this. This week we're stepping into financial literacy because we're stepping into financial literacy month. I don't want to forget that part. We're stepping into financial literacy month. And we're doing so with none other than Dr. Karen Totten White. She's a financial literacy expert, a small business consultant, an international speaker. And Dr. Karen will help us to navigate the money matters that shape our lives, our households, our businesses, and even our purpose. So, from financial growth to small business success, you'll gain practical tools. So, you got to stay tuned. You can't scroll, you got to stay with me. And so, you're going to gain some practical tools to reclaim your financial power in every season of your life. So, all right, I know you all are ready because you've already hopped on. I bring to the stage Dr. Karen Totten. Hey, Dr. Karen.
Hello, hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you today?
I am absolutely wonderful.
Good, good. It's so good to see you. And I'm excited because this is the beginning of a financial literacy month. We become more aware sometimes when we dedicate a month. And this is something we should be doing all year long. But I'm real aware when we make the decision to dedicate a month to a particular cause, we do give it more attention. So I
Yes.
thank you for joining me on the porch to have this conversation. And so I want to just dive right in and ask you, why is financial literacy so crucial for achieving long-term success and reclaiming our destiny?
That's a wonderful question. Finances, first of all, sometimes people want to shy away from it. They don't talk about it. But I want to make finances fun. I enjoy talking about finances, and I don't want you to feel like finances. Um, you don't have to be ashamed of it. Everybody's in a different place with their finances. No matter where you are, we can always improve. No matter how much or how little money you have, no matter what you didn't learn. We can learn from people what to do, but we can also learn from people what not to do. And when Obama was president, he made a proclamation that put financial literacy in place. And April is the month for financial literacy. And actually, this year, the theme is financial literacy, women's prosperity. So even though they're focusing on women this year, financial literacy is important for everyone. Jackie, you and I remember when we was growing up, our parents might have told us some things, but at that age, we didn't quite understand the importance of it. We thought it
Hmm.
just didn't matter. Just like when
Hmm.
we was in school, the teachers might have been telling us, teaching us, but we might not have understood the relevance of it at that time. But then as we mature and grow in grace, we get set in habits. And sometimes we have to break those habits. So financial literacy is really what leads to the destiny and dollars and destiny, and also leads to wealth. That's what it leads
Hmm.
to.
Excellent. And that's so very true. Often we have been given information but did not know how to apply it to our present situation. So yes, as
Correct,
time has
correct,
gone
correct.
on. Now, I don't want to forget about something because I'm going to bring this up early, and that has to do with the money cycle. Okay. The money
Okay.
cycle, I have had the opportunity to read, and it is the book that you've written, and it
Yes.
focuses on being more independent financially. And can you
Yes.
talk about some of those key steps? Because I've already let the audience know that you're going to be giving some tools and some key steps. So this is the time to do that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
share
So
that.
let's
Mhm.
talk about the reason I wrote the book. Let's talk about that. I am a former or retired assistant vice president and managing officer of a small community bank. I was in the banking industry for 30 plus years. And over that career, I saw sometimes people that had a lot of money. That does not mean they was managing it like you think. And then there was some people that didn't have much, but they managed to stay within their means. And that's what we really have to learn to do. Um, when I talk about money or finances, a lot of people will say, "Oh, are you talking about Bitcoin? Or you want to talk stocks and bonds?" No, that's not what I'm talking about. Because you know what? Um, we have of much whom given, much is required. Okay. So we have to learn how to manage what we have. And I speak about the prayer of Jabez in my book. You know, we praying for the increase. Oh Lord, give me the
Mm-hmm.
increase. But how are we managing what we already have? We need to be diligent stewards. It doesn't matter if it's not a lot. Be a diligent steward over what we have, and to create that wealth. Forget the stocks right now, forget the bonds if you're not in that area. Just basically have a savings account. Every time you get paid, every time, please, please, please pay yourself. And when I say pay yourself, it could be as little as $25 every time you get paid. If you just put that in a savings account, just to be consistent. If it's $5, I don't have a specific amount. You know what your budget is, you know what your income is. Just put a little bit away. But I tell you what happens, I can promise you this. When you start seeing that account growing, you're going to say, "Oh, wow. You know what? I think I can add another $5 to that, or I think I can add another $10 to that." And that's kind of what the money cycle is talking about. Just being consistent with your savings to create financial independence. That's how you create financial independence. Just to be consistent. There's nothing hard about that, but just to start doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. We talk about there's so many cycles in life that we talk about, and we talk about even as older adults talk about. It's like you're going back through a childhood again. And so, but a money cycle, I think that's real key because when you talk about a cycle, it's something that's continuous and it is unending, and so that's
Wow.
very helpful. That
And
does
when
create.
we talk about the cycle again, think about it now. When we was 6 years old, 7 years old, we didn't jump on a 10 speed. What did we do?
Right.
We got that little bike. Well, first of all, we had the tricycle
Mm-hmm.
with 3 wheels, okay? And then we moved up to maybe the bicycle with the training wheels. Then we got to
Mm-hmm.
the place where we could take the training wheels off. That's just same thing with the money cycle. It goes through cycles, and you understand how to put a little bit away, a little bit away. So just let me give you, for instance, let's say your tire blows out on your car, and the new tire is going to be, I don't know, let's say it's $200. Well, if you have nothing, you're starting at zero, and that can be stressful, which affects your health, which is not good for us, okay? Because a lot of things affect our health. But if you have at least $150 in a savings account, you know what? Now you only have to come up with $50 for that tire. That's a big difference between coming up with just $50 versus coming up with 150. Doesn't have to be a big number, but like I said, just to be consistent with whatever you have.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. And I appreciate that. Yeah. And reminding us to pay ourselves and to always put something away. And that is being a good
Yes,
steward on what we have been given. Um,
yes,
and being able to demonstrate that we can be trusted over what we've been given too. I think that's
yes.
key. So
I like that.
um, let's talk a little bit about small business owners and entrepreneurs. You know, share a little bit of your wisdom concerning how to support and help them to uh, help with their cash flow and their financial independence.
So first of all, um, we all have been given a gift and a talent that's inside of us. I don't know what yours is. It took me a long time to figure out what mine was because my dad was a wonderful singer. My dad sounded like Al Green. Um, a lot of people in my family couldn't sing, and I used to say, "Well, Lord, what is my gift?" But you know what? My ministry is a financial ministry. I'm not a minister, but I have a financial ministry, so I know what my gift is to help people in that way. You might be a baker, I don't know, you might do nails, you might do hair. We all have some kind of talent. If you think about in the biblical days, okay, let's just go back there. they had carpenters, they had blacksmith. Those people were what? Entrepreneurs. So we all have an entrepreneurial skill in us or gift that the God has given us. So you know what? We need to work on that to bring. Now listen, don't quit your day job. I'm not saying that. I have one. Don't quit your day. But what I'm saying is find out what your talent is, what your gift is. That's where your skill is. And then you know what? You move forward with monetizing your ministry. Okay? Monetizing your ministry to be an entrepreneur, to do something that you are blessing other people with, but also
Mhm.
it fulfills you. And also you're honoring God with the gift that He gave you that's only unique to you. All right. You might do what I do, but we still will do it in a different way. As far as our entrepreneurial skills, when you know what is something that you like to do, then you'll learn. You know how, if you bake cakes, let's just use the a baker for instance. Maybe you bake cakes, or maybe you bake pies, and you're just the best pie baker in the world. And you keep honing your skills and getting better. Then you know what? Maybe you don't want to open up a whole manufacturing place where you're baking these pies, but there's some bakeries out there
Mhm.
that you can bake
Mhm.
your pies for, that carry home good local products that you could sell those pies to earn some extra revenue. And you're working with your gift and your talent, and you're honoring God by doing that.
Absolutely. Oh, this is so good. For those of you that are just joining us, we are happy to have as our special guest, Dr. Karen Totten White, and she's a financial literacy expert. And April begins the month of financial literacy. So it's very poignant that she's a part of this conversation. But she is a small business consultant and an
Mm-hmm.
international speaker. And
Mm-hmm.
so and she's going to give you more information about how to reach out to her. We're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, she's going to be able to share some information about the things that are upcoming for her, as well as how to reach out to her if you need some support in a financial literacy, or if you might need a speaker for a particular event. So we're going to take a few moments and allow Dr. Karen to go to the green room, and she'll be back shortly. All right. This is good. This is such good talk. This is good conversation on the porch, and I'm happy that you all are joining in. And put something in the comment section, okay? If if you have a question for Dr. Karen, put the question in the put that in the comment section. If you have a question or a comment of any kind, because that's what we want to hear and know that this is beneficial, this is helpful for you and to you. So just a couple of things I wanted to share with you. A moment for some highlights and some announcements. But so before we continue, I just wanted to pause and share something special with you. Many of you know my heart. Know my heart is helping others move beyond grief and discover their purpose. And let me not talk fast, because somebody said, she said beyond what? I said grief. Yeah, grief is real. And we might need to touch on that with Dr. Karen before we end this conversation. But moving beyond grief, grief is any experience that we might have. It's normal and natural response to grief of any kind, and it's the conflicting feelings sometimes that we experience when there's a change of any familiar change in our behavior or a pattern of something that's going on in our lives. So grief, we grieve, yeah, and so it is normal and natural, and I encourage persons at all times to embrace that. And so if you want to walk boldly into your next chapter, that's why I've created Authentic Living. And it's a 6-month transformational program. It's designed to help you to rebuild with greater meaning and fully embrace your calling. So if you've been kind of feeling stuck, sometimes there are times in our lives we just kind of feel stuck, or you're searching for clarity, or you just really need a coach. And a coach is someone that helps move you from one place to the next. Then this program is for you. I encourage you to reach out to me at jacklavelle.com so that you can gain more information about some of the things that I'm doing. But go to the website so that you can get a first-hand notion, but also so that you can obtain a complimentary experience with me. I'll be happy to sit down and we'll converse and talk about some of the things that's going on for you or some things that you would like to see happening in your life. The other thing I want to remind you, and the date and the details are coming soon. I will have a special webinar entitled Walking Boldly in Your Purpose. And put in your comment section if that's something you ready to see happen. If that's something that you are interested in and you want to know the date and the time of that event. But it's entitled Walking Boldly in Your Purpose. And that really is the summation of what it will be all about. I'll give you some tips and some tools, some things that are applicable that you can use right away. Okay. All right. So, well, thank you for taking the time to be a part on the porch. Now, we're going to go back to our special guest, Dr. Karen Totten White. All right. Yes. So you were sharing. You've shared so much, but you were sharing that um how you came about writing the most recent book that you have authored. How can our guests get in touch with you if they want to know more information about the work that you do, as well as if they want to purchase the book?
Thank you, Jackie, for that. So, actually, my book is on Amazon, and I will say it slowly for you. It is The Money Cycle, Your Personal Journey to Financial Independence. And the fastest way to get it is on Amazon, or it can be found on my website at www.emergenewunlimited.com. That's emergenewunlimited.com. And my little tagline is come and work with me, emerge new and be a better you. That's my tagline. You can please connect with me on social media on Instagram at ENU, which just stands short for Emerge New. And I would love for you all to connect with me, reach out to me. You can email me at Karen at emergenewunlimited.com. Thank you, Jackie, for putting that up there. And I want to touch on this because when I was in the green room, I heard you speaking about grief and loss. I also want you to know that there is actually information in the money cycle on grief and loss because it is something that we have to deal with. There's a grid in here that talks about preparation for loss of income, preparation for loss of a loved one. That's sometimes things we don't think about. When we lose a loved one, we could lose a whole income. And, how do we prepare for that? How do we It talks about what to do before, what's to do during, and what to do after to kind of guide you through the process. And it's set up in a simple grid. Also, in the money cycle, there are chapters. I think that's one of the favorite things that I was able to work on. There's 5 short chapters, and there are modules at the end of each chapter. The first chapter is financial fitness, because you know what? We need to be financially strong and financially healthy. You can take the little quiz and you might be okay with your answers. You might not be, but the thing that I do guarantee this, if you do the work by taking some of the techniques in the chapter and go back and take that same quiz in 90 days, your score will have improved and you will be happy. You will see some progress. Just simple tips as far as how to save money. First of all, we have to learn, I said this so many times because it's important, to be consistent with our savings. And then once we get that step, then we go to building wealth, because you got to go in baby steps. You want to take it in baby steps, baby steps. But I'm glad you brought that up about the grief, Jackie, because that's something people don't think about when they lose a loved one, that they can lose income.
That's right. That's right. Or any type of loss. I mean, it might be the, it might not be seen as a loss, but when you have been childless and now you have a child, so you lost an experience of being childless. You celebrate in now having a child, but if
Mm-hmm.
if the preparation is not there financially, it brings about experiences and levels of grief that aligns with a lot of the challenges that parents have once they've had
Yes.
the baby.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Hmm.
could cause a hardship if it's somewhat unplanned for. Yeah,
Right.
that's so true.
Yeah.
So true. Wow,
Yeah.
great point.
Hmm. Excellent. Well, we are so excited that you've been able to be a part. Any parting thoughts or any words of we are promoting engagement and empowerment as a part of On the Porch with Dr. Jackie, and those are our goals. Do you have any parting thoughts that might be beneficial to our listening audience?
I just would like for each of you listening today to just be encouraged. Be encouraged. Be who you are. Listen, it's kind of like we're on a highway. We're on a highway and we're all going down a 6-lane highway. Just stay in your lane and do what you can do. We don't have to compete with Tom, Dick, Sue, or Harry. Just be who you are. Save in your own manner. Work in your own will. And God will bless you. He will. Be encouraged with what you have. And because you know what? He has enough for all of us. He has enough for you and you and you and you. And trust me, he created us for a reason. So he wants to bless us. The blessings are here for us. We just got to take a couple of steps. What the old people used to tell us, if we take one step, he'll
He'll
take
take.
two. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
just remember that and be encouraged in your financial journey. Take care of your health, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and God surely will bless your soul.
Absolutely. Well,
As
thank you
far as
so
the
much.
entrepreneurs, I do want to leave with the entrepreneurs to note that we will be having a cohort towards the end of the year. I'm glad to hear about Dr. Jackie's cohort. We will be having a cohort towards the end of the year. More likely, right now, I think we're planning for September. We will probably only have 10, and this will be specifically for businesses. For entrepreneurs, that if you are ready to grow your business, and the main thing I talk about in my cohorts is getting the bag. And when I say getting the bag, I mean the money bag from the money cycle. We're going to talk about in the cohort how you can successfully go to ask for financing. Because let's say you are a baker. I like to use that example. You know how to bake a cake. Let's say you are a beautician and you know how to do hair. No matter what you are a guru or expert at your business.
Mhm.
But when you go access capital or for funding to grow your business, is not something you do every day. And with the businesses that I work with over the years, I do understand that I don't care how good you are at your business, the people that take care of the finances, those are the ones that turn into a Sarah Blakely. That's the young lady that invented a spank, what used to be a girdle years ago. She just didn't reinvent the wheel. She just amped it up a little bit. So understanding, and this is what I like to tell entrepreneurs also, I want to leave you with this. I call it tea on Tuesday or wine on Wednesday. You sit down every week or every other week and have a date with your finances and understand where they are. And if you don't understand, get someone to help you. As strong as I am with finances, I have a CPA because that's not my lane. But I do understand the banks and what kind of banks you should be at and what documentation you should have in line in order to have your business set up properly so that it's benefiting you in the long run. So keep that in mind, and I will keep Dr. Jackie posted. Maybe she'll allow me to come back on before time for our cohort so you can understand how to get that funding your vision, funding
Mhm.
that vision, get the bag. That's it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you again so much, Dr. Karen. You've given us some definitely some wisdom nuggets, some things for us to give some thought to as we move into April. Yes,
Yeah,
financial literacy month. And so thank you for all that you do, but also thank you for sharing that with us. And you take
absolutely.
care until next time, okay? All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you again for each and every one of you for being a part of On the Porch with Dr. Jackie. Yes, life is better on the porch. And we're so glad that you stepped up on the welcome mat to be a part of this experience, this movement with us today. Uh, Definitely reach out to me, jacklavelle.com. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you and speaking with you. Until the next time, bye bye.